Should Canada lift the ban on property ownership by foreigners? Some real estate industry lobby groups in Canada have been actively lobbying the government to lift the ban on foreign property ownership. These groups argue that the ban, initially enacted in 2023 and extended to 2027, has unintended negative impacts on the real estate market and housing supply. However, in my opinion, the government should not lift the ban on property ownership by foreigners in Canada, as doing so would likely exacerbate the already critical issue of housing affordability in the country. Despite some debate about the overall impact of foreign ownership on the housing market, there is a strong rationale for maintaining restrictions to protect Canadian residents and first-time homebuyers from increased competition and rising prices. Canada's two-year ban on foreign property buyers, implemented on January 1, 2023, restricts non-Canadians from purchasing residential properties in metropolitan areas with populations over 100,000, except for certain exemptions like international students and temporary workers. This law was enacted specifically to make housing more accessible and affordable for Canadians by limiting speculative foreign investment that can price locals out of the market. While some experts argue that foreign buyers represent only a small fraction, around 15%, of homeowners in cities like Toronto and Vancouver, the presence of foreign capital nonetheless adds upward pressure on home prices, particularly in prime urban markets where supply is tight. Removing this ban would reintroduce such pressures, compounding affordability challenges faced by Canadian residents, many of whom are already struggling to enter the housing market. Moreover, the housing affordability crisis in Canada is driven by a complex set of factors, including limited housing supply, rising interest rates, and high demand fueled by population growth. However, easing foreign ownership restrictions would exacerbate demand without addressing the fundamental supply shortage, resulting in even less housing available for local buyers and pushing prices higher. Critics of lifting the ban also point out that foreign buyers tend to target high-end properties, which indirectly inflates overall market values and affects affordability across the board. Though foreign ownership in Canada is not as pronounced as in some other countries, its impact is meaningful enough to justify maintaining the ban, especially in regions where housing is already unaffordable for many Canadians. From a policy perspective, lifting the ban could signal a relaxation of measures aimed at controlling speculative real estate investment. This might undermine public confidence in the government's commitment to tackling housing affordability, as the issue remains politically sensitive and crucial for many Canadians. In summary, keeping the ban on foreign ownership of Canadian residential property is a necessary step to protect housing affordability. Lifting it would likely increase demand from foreign investors, drive prices higher, and further reduce the availability of reasonably priced homes for Canadian residents. The government's focus should instead remain on policies that increase housing supply and support first-time homebuyers, rather than reopening the market to additional foreign competition.